Once you get to your destination, you'll want to pull off the road and park. And even though parking might sound like a simple thing to do, it's not. With today's vehicles, even a slight bump with another vehicle can be very expensive. Here are some tips that might help you in these low-speed scenarios that still carry a high potential for damage. Let's start with a relatively straightforward parking maneuver, pulling forward to park at a curb on the right where there are no other vehicles around. It can be challenging to position your vehicle just right along the edge of the road. As always, you should drive slowly when parking. When pulling forward into this type of space, try this. As you pull up close to the curb, look at the seam at the edge of the roadway. Move carefully to the right so that you line up the center of your hood with that seam. Your vehicle should be positioned just right. This also works when you park on the left side of the street. As you pull up close to the curb, look at the seam at the edge of the roadway. Move carefully to the left so that you line up the seam with the left front corner of your hood. These visual cues are called reference points, and they can help you out a lot. In fact, parking maneuvers become much easier when you use reference points. Let's take a look at how reference points can help with another type of parking maneuver, angled parking. Once you've identified a parking space, signal your intention to enter the space and stop between 5 and 6 feet away from the line of parked cars. Then, slowly move forward until you can look along the line marking the near side of the space you're entering. Next, turn the steering wheel quickly while slowly moving forward into the center of the space. As you enter, check the danger points. These include our front bumper on the far side of the space and the rear bumper of the vehicle on the near side. To exit from an angled parking space, you need to judge the car's position by glancing at the front of your vehicle during backing. Keeping your foot on the brake, shift to reverse and signal the direction of your turn. Checking for vehicles and pedestrians, move straight back until the back of your front seat is in line with the back of the vehicle on the side to which you are turning. Then, turn the steering wheel in the direction in which you want the rear of your vehicle to move. When your front bumper clears the back of the vehicle on the side to which you are backing, stop and check again for vehicles or pedestrians before proceeding. Perpendicular parking is like making any other turn, only a bit tighter and slower. To park in an open space on the right, position the car at least 8 to 9 feet from the rear of the vehicles that you'll turn toward, and then signal. Of course, make sure no one is backing out of a nearby space. Okay, you're far enough away from the other cars to make a wide turn. Start turning when you can look down the near side of the vehicle that's parked in the space next to the open space. As you turn, get your left bumper as close to the left as possible so that your right rear end clears the car on the right. Then, pull all the way to the curb, straightening the wheel before you stop. A useful way to determine how far you need to pull forward into a parking spot is to look out the side window and locate the seam of the pavement where the boundary line appears. Slowly pull up so that the seam appears just below your side view mirror. At this point, the nose of your car will be right at the edge of the line. Although where precisely the line extends out from your mirror will vary just a bit based on the specific car you're driving, it does work on either side. That is, from the normal, seated position, the line extending from either the left or right side view mirror will mark the exact location of the front of your vehicle. It's worth noting that this technique can also help you determine precisely where your vehicle should come to rest when stopping at a stop sign or signal light. It works the same way. You just use the stop bar or crosswalk, or even the sidewalk if there are no roadway markings at the intersection, to mark the spot. You can use a similar technique to help determine the precise location of your vehicle when backing up. As you back into a parking space, look again for the seam that marks the rear boundary of the space. Then, back up until that seam appears to bisect your rear window. This should bring you close, but not too close, to the rear parking boundary. Although the exact position of the line on the rear window may vary a bit with each vehicle, this technique can keep you from backing into something. The next type of parking maneuver you'll learn is parallel parking. First, after signaling your intention, pull past the open spot, stopping when the center point of your vehicle is in line with the center point of the vehicle that's next to you, about 2 to 3 feet away from the other vehicle. Shift to reverse and check behind. Back slowly, turning the steering wheel to the right until the car is aimed at the back of the parking space. Keep slowly backing until the center point of your vehicle is in line with the left rear corner of the vehicle just to your right. Then straighten the steering wheel as you continue backing slowly toward the car behind. When you clear the left rear corner of the other vehicle, turn the steering wheel sharply left while slowly backing. You want to keep the rear wheels 6 to 12 inches from the curb. If your tires are against the curb, you can't turn. Continue backing until the car almost touches the car behind. Now, turn the wheel to the right and pull forward until the car is lined up with the curb. Move the car backward or forward as needed to even out the spaces in the front and rear. Leaving a parking spot is a little easier. If you're parked on the right, first activate your left turn signal. Then back the vehicle slowly as you turn the wheel to the right so that you aim the front of the car toward the street. If the parking space is cramped, you may need to start out by backing with the wheel turned hard to the right. Then, turn hard left and enter the street slowly, checking first to make sure you're not pulling out in front of an approaching vehicle. After entering the street, steer to the right to align your vehicle in the lane, straighten the steering wheel, and make sure you clear the left corner of the vehicle on your right side. Finally, you accelerate on your way. There are a few more things to consider when you're going to leave a car parallel parked on a hill, just to be absolutely sure it doesn't roll off on its own. Of course, you always set the parking brake and put the car in park, so this will never happen, right? If you're parked on a downgrade, you need to turn the wheels sharply to the right. This will prevent the vehicle from rolling into traffic. Facing uphill, you turn the wheels sharply left. This will also prevent the vehicle from rolling into traffic. If there's no curb, just turn the wheels sharply to the right. If the car does roll, it will stay out of the road. Changing lanes, turning, and parking may seem like relatively simple maneuvers, but they are not. Each one requires a high degree of situational awareness and precision when actually changing speed or turning the steering wheel. They're all about precision, putting your vehicle exactly where you want it to go after having first ensured that the space is available to you. To reduce your risk when changing lanes, turning, and parking, check out the space you want, clearly communicate your intentions to other drivers, and be precise in your maneuvering.